2 more wins, the Mariners will win their first ever American League pennant and punch a ticket to their first ever World Series performance. And Aaron, these fans are ready to go, and so are the Mariners.
Well, the only person in this ballpark more nervous than the Blue Jays a moment ago was Gary as he faded up the bone on the PA feed. I think you dodged a bullet there. You're all right there, Gary.
Well, let's just say the mic has, hasn't always been trusted during postseason celebrations.
No, the mic works just fine.
No, the mic is fine.
Well, what a pivotal game. I mean, the Mariners win tonight. They're up 3-0, and you were on the doorstep of your first ever pennant win. And for the Blue Jays, they're hoping that in that arm that has been surgically repaired for Shane Bieber, that has barely been a Blue Jay over the course of his young Toronto career, acquired at the deadline. They're hoping that he's got some kind of magic in there to kind of revive what he has done historically against the Mariners. He's pitched very well in his career against the Indians, especially here, but that was a long time ago, and maybe a different version of Shane Bieber. He's not a guy who throws hard, but he can spin it, and if he can locate, it could be a tough day at the office for any hitter. And here comes Kirby and the Mariners.
How about George Kirby in his 2 postseason starts in games 1 and 5 here at home against the Detroit Tigers? No decision because game 1 won 11, game 5 won 15 innings, but he was outstanding. A combined 10 innings of work, giving up only 3 earned runs. And in that first game, he went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, 1 walk, struck out 8. In the second outing on October the 10th, that ended up going 15 innings. He went 5+ innings, gave up only 1 run and just 3 hits with no walks and 6 strikeouts. So in his first 2 outings in the postseason, only 1 walk and 14 strikeouts. And guys, that's George Kirby.
Yeah, he's pitched here both times as well, and the stuff has really played up. I don't think that's a big surprise. We've seen a lot of 98s, especially early in ball games.
Yeah.
I would expect more of the same tonight. Is this crowd already ready to go?
They're kind of an odd first pitch time, a little after 5 o'clock on a work day, no less. But this place is completely maxed out right now.
Work should be optional this time of year for Seattle right now.
Worth noting, not many Blue Jay fans in the house.
Yes.
Exactly. This crowd is ready to go. I mean, take a look at the folks up in the Raptors, high up there in right field. This is like a national holiday when it comes to postseason play. The Mariners getting to the American League Championship for only the 4th time. And the previous 3 outings, 95, 2000, 2001. So the Mariners are playing their first home game in the American League Championship Series in 24 years. You got to go back to 2001 when the Mariners were taking on the New York Yankees. Furious George Kirby has completed his warm-up tosses, and George Springer will lead things off for the Toronto Blue Jays. The Mariners lead 2-0 in this best of 7 ALCS, trying to get to the World Series. Man, the last time we were here against Detroit, the fans were on their feet for 5 hours in that marathon. Kirby is ready to go. The tall right-hander out of Rye, New York. Springer steps in. George getting ready to deliver the first pitch of the evening, and here it comes the Springer. Check swing. It's going to be a strike, and we are underway, and listen to the roar of the crowd. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. Aaron is winning 3-1 and 10-3 in Toronto. The windup and the 0-1 to Springer. Swinging a chopper to third. 2-hopper taken by Gino. Toss across in time to get Springer. And there's 1 away. Yeah, they're pumped up. We're excited too. And I know you're excited back home wherever you may be, listening to our voices for Game 3 of this ALCS. Nathan Lucas will now hit for the Blue Jays. Time now for the roof report from 3 Tree Roofing. The roof is wide open on a beautiful Wednesday night here in Seattle. The roof report brought to you by 3 Tree Roofing, the #1 roofer in Washington. Go to 3treeroofing.com for a free estimate today. The wind of the pitch to Lucas is a strike on the outside corner. Letter high, and the count is 0-1. Folks, we already had a great morning today as Gary and Arian and I had a chance to hoist the Mariner flag high atop the Space Needle. Here's a swing and a pop-up on a play on the third base side, and the count is 0-2. And guys, it's kind of a trek to get to that platform above the Space Needle. Were you guys all right getting up there?
3 points of contact is all I remember.
2 hands, 1 foot, and get yourself up to platform deck to raise the Mariners flag. Flying high above the Space Needle right now. George Kirby looking for his first strikeout. 0-2 the count on Lucas. Kirby ready, the windup, and the 0-2 on the way, and it's going to be inside. Missed with a sinker for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. George during the regular season 10-8 with a 4.21 ERA. Missed a lot of time in the first 2 months of the season. Here's the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got him with a fastball at 97 miles an hour. So 2 up and 2 down for the Blue Jays. Here in the top of the first inning, there is strikeout number 1 for George here in game 3. And that'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is 0 for 7 in the series, but always very, very dangerous. Vlad during the regular season at .292, 23 home runs, 84 RBIs. The wind and the pitch to Vlad, and it's going to be low and outside for ball 1. Kirby, 27 years of age. Mariners in their home whites. And for the Blue Jays, wearing their powder blues here on the road. In game 1 of the series here in Seattle, pitch on the way, swinging a foul out of play on the first base side, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. But the Mariners really took it to Toronto in Toronto, winning the first 2 games. And Dan Wilson, skipper of the ball club, Pete Woodworth, the pitching coach for the Mariners, did a great job of juggling the starters and the bullpen. Here's the pitch of the way, swinging a one-hopper to third, high in the air, pulling it down. Gino spin move, one-hop throw to first, and he hits on by Naylor into the dugout, and Guerrero will be awarded second base. Gino came in, had to go back a big one-hopper. He was able to come down with it, a little snow cone in the webbing of his glove. Spin move to his glove side with a low throw, and Naylor had a rough time trying to get to it. So Guerrero is on at second base.
Those are the kind of ground balls we see from Julio often. Just those big bounders that was hit hard, 103 off the bat. So very similar in that way, and that was a tough play.
That's going to be a base hit for Guerrero and a throwing error. And that'll bring up Anthony Santander. Runner at second, 2 outs. Kirby a check of Vlad down the stretch of the pitch to Santander, and it's going to be over for a strike. 0-1. Home plate umpire tonight is Ben May, calling balls and strikes. Marvin Hudson at first, DJ Rayburn at second, Quinn Wolcott at third. On the lines, Ryan Addington and Doug Eddings in left and right. The stretch by Kirby, and the 0-1 pitch is going to be up and in on Santander for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays tying the Yankees for the best record in the American League East this year at 94-68, but the Blue Jays had the tiebreaker. Now the look in by George, and the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Santander. And a fastball in, tied him up, and again the fans rising to their feet in unison here at T-Mobile Park. That pitch had some giddy up, and right over the top of the barrel of the bat of Santander. Guerrero on at second with 2 outs. Julio Rodriguez a little bit toward left center field for Santander, batting from the left side. Kirby looking in, looking for another strikeout. The stretch, a look back, and the 1-2 to Santander, and it's going to be up and in, straightens him up. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. On deck for Toronto, catcher Alejandro Kirk. Blue Jays managed by John Schneider, now in his 3rd year with the ball club. Kirby in with a sign from Cal, a check of the runner, the 2-2 on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Kirby striking out Santander, his second strikeout here in the first inning, and that's going to be it for the Blue Jays. What a start for George. No runs ahead and a man.
A lot of fans and collectors will look at the T206 set as the more famous of the sets that were produced in the early part of the 20th century, and certainly they would carry more financial value. But when you talk to collectors, some will tell you that these T205s are actually more physically attractive. They're maybe the most physically attractive cards produced prior to World War II.
last year, had the Tommy John surgery while he was with Cleveland, traded away by Cleveland in July of this year to the Blue Jays, so he's missed a lot of time. He was taken off the 60-day injured list on August the 22nd, made his debut with the Blue Jays, his Blue Jay debut on August the 22nd. So he hasn't pitched that much, but when he was healthy, he was one of the better pitchers in the American League with Cleveland. Shane Bieber on in relief, 4-2 during the regular season and just 7 starts at the end of the year with a 3.57 ERA. He's got a 4-seam fastball, slider, knuckle curve, changeup, and a cutter. Randy Arozarena will lead off the bottom of the first inning. Mariners in their home whites. Bieber ready, the windup and the pitch on the way to Randy, and it's going to be low and outside for ball 1. Coach down at third base. Chris Negron at first base. Eric Young Jr. Outfield about straight away will set up the Blue Jays defense. The windup and the low pitch, and that's down and away for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Nathan Lucas is in left field tonight for the Blue Jays. Dalton Varsho is in center. Great defense there. Santander in right. Next offer, a breaking ball for a strike. And the count is now 2-1. It's Barger, Jimenez, Clement, and Guerrero third to first. The battery of Bieber and Kirk. The windup and the 2-1 pitch way up and in for ball 3 as Randy gets out of the way. And Randy's been hit about 30 times this season. Cal Raleigh due up next. Bieber ready. The windup and the right-hander's 3-1 pitch. That's going to be inside for ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Randy Arozarena. The Mariners look to get off to a good start offensively, and that's what they did against the Blue Jays just a few days ago with a 3-run home run by Julio Rodriguez in the top of the first inning. Here's Cal Raleigh, the modern-day Bambino, 60 home runs during the season to match Babe Ruth for the 3rd most home runs in American League history. The look in by Bieber. And the pitch on the way to Cal. It's going to be a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. The only other American League hitters to hit more home runs than Cal, Aaron Judge with 62 and Roger Maris with 61 in the American League. Here's the stretch. And the 0-1 on the way to Cal. Swinging a well-hit ball, and he yanks it foul way over into foul territory down the right field side into the upper deck that curves around. And even the foul balls that Cal hits are prolific. So 0-2 the count on Cal Raleigh. And he also led the American League in runs batted in with 115. And the 60 home runs led all of Major League Baseball. The first Mariner to do that. He's instant offense standing up at home plate. Randy a lead at first base. Held on by Guerrero. Now the stretch by Bieber. He delivers the Cal, and it's a breaking ball that's low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball. And 2 strikes. Cal 0 for 3 on Monday, but having a really good postseason. 10 for 28. That's an average of .357 with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. In the opening game in Toronto, a home run that tied the game at 1. And then Polanco's been a hero during the postseason. Came up with an RBI single and another one after that. Here's the pitch to Cal. And that breaking ball is inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck for the Mariners, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. A lot of fans are still on their feet, and they're used to this after the last time we played here in that 15-inning win over the Detroit Tigers. I don't think anybody sat down the entire game. The third baseman, Barger, playing way off the line. He's playing shortstop. Behind the bag, near the bag, is Jimenez. Now the set by Bieber. And the 2-2 to Cal, swinging a fly ball shallow down the left field line. Lucas on the run. Foul territory is there, and he makes the catch. Fires the ball all the way to first base, and Randy gets back to the bag. Lucas's throw, instead of going to the second, went all the way to first. But Randy back in time. So 1 on and 1 away, and here's Julio. Say, friends, come see why everyone visits Sandberg Volvo Cars in Linwood, the only Excellence Award winner in the entire Northwest. State-of-the-art dealership, amazing selection of new and pre-owned Volvos, because you're going to come in as a friend and leave as part of the family with a great car. Sandberg Volvo Cars in Linwood and SandbergVolvoCars.com. Here's Julio Rodriguez, the big 3-run home just days ago in Toronto. Toss over to first base, and Randy just gets back in time with a dive, reaching for the back corner of the bag, and a heck of a move by Bieber. 1 on, 1 away. No score. We are just underway. Julio during the regular season, .267 average, 32 home runs, 30 guys, second time in the big leagues. Here's the stretch. And now the pitch. On the way to Julio. There goes Randy. Good jump pitch on the way, a strike. The throw down to second. It's not in time. Randy safe at second base with a stolen base. No chance for Alejandro Kirk, as Randy got a huge jump and he gets himself into scoring position.
That was a great jump by Randy, who was almost thrown out at first base twice. Once by Lucas and once by Bieber, and now maybe a little safer territory at second.
Now let's see what he wants to do on at second. Trying to be held on by Clement. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Julio, and it's up and in. Almost hit him. Ball 1 ball and 1 strike. Julio in the postseason, 6 for 29 with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. As we mentioned, that big 3-run home run at Rogers Center that jump-started the Mariners offense. Bieber looked back at Randy. The stretch and the pitch to Julio. Swing and a well-hit ball. Deep to left field. Going and goodbye baseball. He almost hit his face on the board, the out-of-town scoreboard in left center field. Julio Rodriguez with another first-inning home run. He had a 3-run blast in the first a couple of days ago at Rogers Center. A line shot 2-run home run here in the bottom of the first inning at T-Mobile Park. And the Mariners with a 2-0 lead, and the crowd is going wild. A walk and a bomb, and the Mariners are up 2-0. Do they want Game 3 of this series? You better believe it. And that was a missile to left field. Here's the pitch to Polanco. Swing and a drive. Deep in the gap in right center field. And this one is on the track and bounces over the fence in right center. Jorge Polanco will steam into second base with a stand-up double. Back-to-back pitches. One leaves the ballpark. Another one leaves the ballpark on a hop. So Jorge Polanco has become a folk hero here during the postseason. Is on at second base with 1 away. And Shane Bieber has been tattooed here in the bottom of the first inning.
This is just the perfect start for the Mariners tonight. Kirby throwing flames, hanging a 0, and now the Mariners going to work offensively. Just perfect.
Here's Josh Naylor with a chance to drive in a run. 2-0 lead. Pitch of the way. Swinging a grounds foul. In behind first base coach Eric Young Jr. The count is 0-1. Bieber hasn't thrown that much. Only 7 starts with the Blue Jays, coming off the Tommy John surgery. But the home run by Julio, the walk by Randy, and then the double by Polanco. Here's the stretch. And the 0-1 to Naylor. And it's a breaking ball that's low and inside for ball 1. And right now, if you're John Schneider, you have to be mighty concerned on how quickly you might have to go to the bullpen. And we're only in the bottom of the first inning. Naylor during the year hit .295. 20 home runs, 95 runs batted in. Back home in Toronto. He's from Mississauga, Ontario. He was 3 for 4 a couple of days ago with a home run to right field. 1 of 3 for the Mariners. Bieber looked back, delivers the Naylor. Swing and a foul at the plate, actually off of Kirk. And the count is now 1-2. So the Mariners looking to add on after they got the early 2-0 lead on the home run by Julio. They had his face, his name on the out-of-town scoreboard out in left field, and that's where Julio hit that home run. His third home run of the postseason. Naylor calls time, and he backs away from home plate. Josh, a new dad just days ago during the course of the postseason. So congratulations to Josh and his wife and the entire Naylor family. Polanco on at second base, only 1 out, bottom of the first inning. The set by Bieber from the stretch delivers, and it's down low in the dirt for ball 2. 2-2 the count on Naylor with Gino due up next. Well, this is a way to get the crowd in the ball game in a hurry, and the Mariners have done that. Bieber. Again, a check on Polanco at second. The stretch and a 2-2 to Naylor. Swing and a miss. The bat goes sailing out of his hands by the Mariners' first base dugout for strike 3. And the Mariners have 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. And that'll bring up third baseman Eugenio Suarez. And guys, that's a big run out there at third base when you can tack on another one already with a 2-0 lead.
Well, and from a Blue Jays perspective, they have gotten almost nothing going offensively in this series. For a team that did everything,
fair to say.
That did everything right in the DS against the Yankees, so a crooked number here in the first is pretty enormous.
Here's Gino looking for a base hit to drive in Polanco. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's going to be up high for ball one. Suarez 4 for 18 in his career against Bieber with a home run.
And the Mariners, it was the long ball. That was the weapon last game.
Yeah.
And they're right back to it with the long ball tonight.
3 home runs. Here's the pitch of the way. Swinging a pop-up out of play on the first base side. And the count is even on Gino at 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 home runs in that game on Monday at Rogers Center accounted for 8 of the Mariners' 10 runs. Chance of Gino. Polanco on at second. The stretch and the pitch to Gino. Swing and a miss in the count 1-2. So Gino now just looking to drive in a run, hit the ball up the middle, stay on a pitch, or drive it into the gap in right center field. Just looking for a base hit. Bieber ready. Has the sign from Kirk and the veteran right-handers. 1-2 pitch, swing and a pop-up. In behind second, calling for it is the shortstop. Jimenez is there at the cut of the grass, and he makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. However, the Mariners get 2 right away on the line shot 2-run home run off the bat of Julio Rodriguez. We go to the top of the second here at T-Mobile Park. Our Mechanics Bank score, the Mariners 2 and the Blue Jays nothing.
O'Brien Auto Group has some of the best new...
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Now representing the organization, Jim Leland and AJ Hinch are presenting Miggy with a customized set of cleats made by renowned artist Marco Terzo, made from several significant baseballs from Miguel's career. The cleats are presented on a base representing the time he spent at both third and first base in his career.
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha. And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bock beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
And to go into Toronto and win the first 2 games, how big was that for the Mariners? It was huge. The windup and the pitch on the way from Kirby, and it's going to be way outside for ball 1. And for the better part of those 2 games, they kept that sellout crowd pretty quiet at Rogers Center. And after the Mariners really poured it on, especially in the midway part of the game, a lot of folks started to leave. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside for ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Kirby looks in, wiggle waggle of that glove, gets the sign from Cal, and the 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. The count is now 2-1. A fastball at 97, consistently 97 miles an hour with the fastball. There's a big assortment of pitches. Four-seamer, the slider, sinker, knuckle curve, splitter. Swinging a line shot up in the air at first is Josh Naylor. He makes the catch. Hey, how about some hops right there by Naylor? Plays some great defense. Kirk hit a rocket the other way. Josh timing that leap. Goes way up there to haul it in, and there's one away for the Blue Jays here in the top half of the second.
Well, for a guy who's always wearing some Jordans, you better have a little bit of hops, right?
You got to.
That was a great play.
Gives you a little extra lift. Outstanding play. Here's Dalton Varsho, left-handed hitter, batting .238 during the season with 20 home runs, 55 RBIs. The pitch. It's a strike, 0-1. And Naylor made a couple of great plays the other day. Diving for a ball down the right field line, in behind the bag at first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul, backing out of play off to our left, almost into Jerry DiPoto's booth. Next door, and the count is now 0-2 on Varsho. The big man, Naylor, does such a good job of bouncing around over there playing defense at first base. What an addition by Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander as he came over right before the trade deadline when we were in Anaheim. Kirby looking for another strikeout. The 0-2 on the way to Varsho. Swing, and it's popped up. Right side of the infield, coming down the first base line. Naylor now in foul territory. He's there, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And Kirby has retired 5 of the first 6 batters he's faced. So 2 up, 2 down for Toronto here in the top of the second. That'll bring up third baseman Addison Barger. Well, the Mariners didn't waste any time getting this crowd in the ball game. And now George Kirby doing his thing out there in the mound. 2 quick outs. Here's Barger, batting .243 during the year, 21 home runs, 74 runs batted in, 0 for 6 in the series. The windup and the pitch, and it's going to be up and in for ball 1. Mariner pitchers have really kept the Blue Jays bats pretty quiet in the opening 2 games of this series. Way off the line at third is Gino. The windup and the pitch. It's up and in for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Of course, we're going to talk about Bryce Miller. His start in game 1, going on 3 days rest, 6 innings, gave up 1 run. Logan Gilbert going on 2 days rest, win 3 innings. Pizarro was great. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a drive, straightaway center. But now coming in, Julio Rodriguez, he's there, and he makes the catch. And 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. Here in the top half of the second, Kirby has retired 6 of the first 7 batters.
Here we are, Arlington, Texas. This is the Grand Slam burger. So 2 patties, brisket, caramelized onion, American cheese, ranch aioli, or ranch mayo, if you will.
Oh yeah, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
It's something that you definitely want to take a picture of and just put on the gram. I took a bite of it, but it still looks dope.
It's a burger that looks great, but also delicious.
1995 was unbelievable. Started his Hall of Fame career right here in Seattle. Throughout the ceremonial first pitch, then you had Jay Buhner, the Bone, firing up the crowd before the ball game got underway. Then Julio really got him going. Here's Dom Canzone, the pitch on the way from Shane Bieber, and it's a strike, 0-1. It's great to see Randy out there, the big unit. He was 18-2 back in 1995. The windup and the pitch. A breaking ball for a strike, and the count is 0-2 on Canzone, trying to get the crowd back in it after Julio hit that 2-run home run in the bottom of the first, if you just tuned in. We had Lou Piniella throw out a ceremonial first pitch. We had Junior here at the ballpark. The windup and the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. Canzone goes down swinging, and there's one away. Say, friends, this Mariners season has been unforgettable. And now's a great time to check out a 2026 membership. Choose a reserved or flex plan and unlock benefits like guaranteed 2026 postseason access, no ticket fees, and more. Start your membership today at mariners.com/26. Here's right fielder Victor Robles. The windup and the pitch from Bieber. Here's a breaking ball strike on the outside corner 0-1, and you're going to see a lot of breaking pitches, the slider and the knuckle curve from Bieber. Against the slider, teams hitting just 171. Against the knuckle curve, hitting just 167. The next pitch on the way is a strike, and the count is now 0-2, and there's the slider again. So Bieber's going to spin it. Here's the windup and the 0-2 on the way to Victor's check swing. Does he go? Yes, he does. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bieber here in the bottom of inning number 2. Mariners lead by a score of 2-0, and that'll bring up shortstop J.P. Crawford. J.P. with success against Bieber. He's 6 for 12 against Shane. J.P. 2 days ago in Toronto, 1 for 3, had a couple of runs batted in. Now the windup and the pitch on the way to Crawford. It's down low for ball 1. But nice to see Randy Johnson and Jay Buhner here at the ballpark prior to tonight's Game 3. Game 1 here at home. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip into Kirk's glove, and the count is even. And 1 ball and 1 strike. Jay played a big role in the American League Championship Series back in 1995 against Cleveland. Hit a big home run. Here's the pitch on the way inside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. He also made an error in right field with Randy Johnson on the mound, but Jay was able to come back and hit a home run to win that game. And baseball will give you a chance for retribution and give you a chance to come back, and Jay Buhner took advantage of that chance and had a big night in Cleveland. Now the windup and the 2-1 pitch on the way to Crawford. High and outside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. And now this team here in 2025, they're writing their own history. The windup and the 3-1 pitch is a strike on the inside corner, and the count is now full at 3-2. Postseason has a way of making heroes out of players, and the Mariners have their heroes in this one. 3-2. And a swing and a miss by Crawford for strike 3. And Bieber, after giving up 2 runs in the first, strikes out the side here in the bottom half of the second. We go to the top of the third, and our
what else going to happen today? Henderson's bat goes flying into the stands on a strikeout.
And that's not good right there.
See Andy looking at it like, hey, not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, stick to basketball there, right?
Oh, no catch. Love to get that one back. Alonso lost the bat as he flung at that high fastball.
That's going to keep him up tonight. Can't make that catch.
You got to keep that clean, right? You got to catch that.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
Oppo Taco.
I'm going to guess it's an opposite field, upper deck, maybe something like a...
Yeah, home run to the opposite field.
Yeah.
You got it.
This is a good one, a hack.
I don't know. I mean, is it the same as like the layman's term hack, like a bad chef?
You've guessed correctly.
Okay.
Someone's a hack, you know, someone that's just nailing it in.
Yeah.
They're not putting their heart into it.
As Kirby climbs back onto the hill, ready to work here on a gorgeous October night in Seattle. Kirby into the wind. Here comes his pitch. Swung on, smoked down the left field line. It is down. It's a base hit. It's going to the corner. Clement around first base. He wants two. He glides into second. Randy gets the ball in. A leadoff double here in the third. Here's Andres Jimenez, the shortstop, looking for his first hit in the series. Is 0 for 6. So runner at second base, no outs. Mariners up 2-0. It's tricky after this. Top of the order with Springer. Corners playing in. Kirby from the stretch. Here comes his pitch. Swung on, fouled back. It was 97 at the bottom of the zone. Kirby, his third start in the postseason this year. He's been excellent. 2 starts against the Tigers. 10 innings of work, 3 earned runs. Here's his 0-1. Swung on, that is lasered right field. Robles moving back. He's at the track. He's looking up, and it is gone. Andres Jimenez, a 2-run home run, 1 swing, and it is tied. Not the most likely source in the Blue Jays lineup to go deep, but he's done it. And we got a new ball game here in the third.
And that was nearly 400 feet from Jimenez, and I'm sure if you're Kirby, you're thinking that's not the guy you can let beat you. We're just talking about the top of the order that comes to the plate now. Jimenez, the lightest hitter in this lineup.
So both teams now with a 2-run home run.
Blue Jays being very aggressive early in the count. George has thrown 3 pitches here and given up a double and a 2-run home run.
Top of the order, here's Springer, the pitch. Inside, backs him off the plate. That's a slider. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, and until now, that aggressive approach is really playing into George's hands. Pitch count incredibly low coming into this third inning.
And third. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. Big cut. Got a slider on the corner. So count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. George has really been in a great groove. If you go back to the end of September, his last 5 starts, including the postseason, 27 innings. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled away. An ERA at 2.30, but 45 strikeouts and 2 walks in 27 innings in his last 5 starts. That is really impressive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Winds, deals. Swung on, lifted right field, long run. Robles ranging over. He's near the line. He's there. He makes a little leap, and he makes the catch as he slams into the sidewall. Victor Robles, an acrobatic grab, puts away Springer. That's the first out here in the third. Comes away with a little grimace. He is brave, especially considering what has already happened to him this season, going into a sidewall.
Yeah, that was in San Francisco. That put him on the IL for a long time. Fortunately, Victor was all right.
Here's Lucas. The pitch.
Outside.
Outside. I concur. 2-2 the score, third inning. Here's the pitch to Lucas. Swung on, fouled away. That's out of play. Lucas had 3 hits in game 2. John Schneider, if this were a regular season game, if last game were a regular season game, he wouldn't have been playing after he fouled him off his knee. The 1-1. Swung on, line drive, base hit into the right center field gap. Julio ranges over to cut it off, and Lucas strikes again. Another base hit. Blue Jays have 3 hits in the inning with 1 away, and here comes Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Had a big bounding ball single in the first inning. His first hit of the series. Had a massive series against the Yankees. And now Cal will walk out to talk to George Kirby.
Well, George so far is about 75% fastball in this game. And you wonder if you might need to start mixing it up a little bit if you're George. Now, there's a reason for that. This Blue Jays team is in many ways kind of an average team against slug. So we know how much Kirby believes in his fastball, both of them, the 4 and the 2 seam. So it could kind of play into his hands, but does he need to zig if they're zagging a little bit here?
A dangerous spot right here. It always is with Guerrero at the dish. 23 home runs this year. Over 30 doubles. Go ahead run at first base. 2-2 the score. Bottom. Top of the 3rd. Here comes the pitch. That's a fastball off the plate. Went with the 2-seam. 97. Seen good velo from George in this one. 1 ball, no strikes. From the stretch. He delivers. That's over for a strike. Went slider that time. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blue Jays offense in the first 2 games of the series, they're 3 through 9 hitters, 3 for 46. Here's the 1-1. Swung on that is smoked left field towards the wall, and it is off the wall. Picked up by Randy, gets the ball in quickly. Lucas into third base. Vlad slides into second, pumps his fist as the Blue Jays, a big inning going. 2 runs in, and now runners at second and third with just 1 away. That ball was hammered.
And that was a slider that caught a lot of the plate above the knees. And that nearly got stuck in the wall. It was hit so hard. And Kirby grateful that ball wasn't about 5 feet higher, or else that's over the fence and gone.
Blue Jays hitting the ball awfully hard in this inning. 2 doubles, a homer, a single. Here's Santander. Infield playing in. 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. It's a good fastball. Santander struck out in the first. Kirby looking for a punch out right here. Santander didn't play in game 2. Scratched before the ball game with lower back tightness. Here's the 0-1. A slider that misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. 44 homers last year with Baltimore, just 6 this year. Missed a lot of time with injury. Cleaning up today for the Blue Jays. Here's the 1-1. Wide. Another slider that dances off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out. 2-2 the score. Blue Jays at second and third. George set. He deals. Swung on, fouled away. Slider below the zone, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. He wants a punch out right here. Kirby stares in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's ready. The 2-2. Low, no chase. Tried another slider. He's thrown 1 fastball. 4 straight sliders after the first fastball to Santander. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 3-2 from George. Swung on, bounding ball right to Naylor. He's going to go to first base. Lucas will hold at third. He steps on first. He's got the out. A huge second out. Runners have to hold. We stay tied. Now he's trying to navigate through this inning without giving up the go-ahead run. He'll have to go through Kirk to do it. Lined out sharply to Naylor his first time. 2-2 the score. Third inning. 2 outs, 2 on. Kirby set. Here's the pitch.
Outside.
Well, you heard it. It was outside on a fastball, just off the plate. It was close. Kirby brings the glove to the chest. Ready. He deals. That misses wide. Varsho on deck. First base open. Kirby at 45 pitches. Here's the 2-0. Down low. 3 balls and no strikes. The Blue Jays, one of the best offensive teams in baseball in the regular season. Top 5 in runs scored. Tops in batting average. The hardest team to strike out in baseball. Nearly top 10 in home runs as well. Here's the 3-0. He sends it right down the middle for a strike. Back in the count, 3-1. Mariners kept the Blue Jays quiet for the first 2 games. Toronto making noise here in the third. 2 runs in. Kirby's 3-1. Down low, ball 4. Kirk walks, and they are loaded. Here comes Pete Woodworth. You're with us inside the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. 2-2 the score. And while this meeting happens, let's pause for station identification on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
This is Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Take every game with you on the go by downloading the Seattle Sports app.
710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma, the home of the Mariners.
So Varsho will stand in here. He popped up to first his first time.
George has thrown 24 pitches here in the top half of the third. He threw 24 combined in the first 2 innings.
Big spot right here with the bases loaded. 2-2 game. 2 outs. Trying to keep it a tied game right here. Kirby, his pitch. At the shoot tops, and that nearly got Varsho as he dances out of the way. Cal, great job keeping the ball in front. So everybody holds. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, this show you again how aggressive the Blue Jays have been. 24 pitches to face 7 batters.
Now Barger on deck, the only Blue Jay who has not batted in this inning. Started with a Clement double, then a Jimenez home run. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. It gets by Cal. It goes all the way to the backstop. The Blue Jays will take the lead. Lucas scores from third. Everybody advances. It's 3-2 Toronto. That was a ball that was just spiked right in front of home plate. So now runners on second and third. Blue Jays with the lead. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. That is ripped high, deep right field, and it is off the wall. Gets away from Robles. Guerrero scores. Kirk around third base. He's flying home. Varsho into second. A ringing 2-run double. And the Blue Jays add 2 more runs. It's 5-2 in the third. Everything hit hard this inning by Toronto.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that stands out the most. Obviously, all the runs, but it's the way that they have gotten there. This has not been fluke hits from the Blue Jays. They are on Kirby today and are just smoking rockets all over the yard here in the third.
That was 110 off the bat. Barger batting. The pitch. Swung on, hit hard, but right to the second baseman. Polanco scoops it up. Sidearm throw to first in time to get the out, but a lot of damage done. A 5 spot here in the third. The Mariners will be playing catch up now. 5-2. Blue Jays with the lead. We head to the bottom of the third on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Gary Hill for my great friends at Fireside Home Solutions. We are ready for the colder weather thanks to our
flip with the glove. That was not a good idea.
All he needed to do was try to get the lead guy by giving him a nice easy feed.
No, stay on your feet. No. I thought he was going to stay on his feet.
Uh-oh. The Goose did not know that the game was starting. Maybe the Goose thought it was 6:45 first pitch time.
Oh, man, off the glove and off the dome. He said, oh.
Bag his first time. The pitch to him. It's over. Bieber struck out the side in the second, although it looked like JP had a walk. Here's the 0-1. That's a strike. It was a ball that was well out of the zone high. It was called a strike, and then JP struck out. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Quick work of Randy Arozarena. Fourth straight strikeout, and one out here in the third.
Yeah, and his third on 3 pitches.
Here's Cal Raleigh. Bieber, his 5th career postseason start. First not in a Cleveland uniform. The pitch to Cal Raleigh. Swung on and missed. A changeup at the very bottom of the zone. This will be pitch number 40 for Bieber. The 0-1. Swung on, skied on the infield. Clement in. He's under it now in the grass. One-hand catch quickly, 2 away. 7 in a row put down by Bieber. Here's Julio. (5-2) Blue Jays. Third inning. Still a lot of time left in this one. The pitch to Julio. He watches it over for a strike after a couple of quick outs. A slider on the corner. Into the motion, delivers.
Outside.
Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Julio wearing bright yellow shoes. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. A waving cut at a slider. Low and away.
You mentioned 7 in a row retired by Bieber. He has thrown only 7 balls to retire those 7 in a row. He's just pounding the strike zone. When he gets ahead to 2 strikes, that's when he's got you in the palm of his hands. He's got so much spin with that slider and that curveball and so much chase.
And he's got a 3-run lead to work with now, too. His 1-2.
Outside.
Just outside. Tried the spin again, a slider just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bieber, first base side of the rubber, kicks, deals. Swung on a chopper, solely hit third base side. Barger charging, bare hand, no throw. Julio has a base hit. So a 2-out infield base hit by Julio. See if the Mariners can take advantage of that. Julio all smiles at first base.
Man, that's a big base runner right there with 2 outs, because here comes Jorge Polanco. He's done so much damage in this series and in the postseason for the Mariners. Giving him an opportunity to swing the bat with 2 strikes is a real good thing.
He smoked a double last time. He's just sizzling in the postseason. Julio steps off his lead at first. The pitch to Polanco. Here it is. He watches it over for a strike. Just touching the corner on a changeup. Polanco 3 homers in the postseason. He's had some huge hits. The 0-1. Swung on, skied center field. Varsho ranging over, plenty of space under it. One-hand catch, and the Mariners put away in the 3rd. So we move along to the 4th inning. Blue Jays with...
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef.
Due up for Toronto. And Ernie Clement will lead things off. He smoked a double off the fence in left field his last time up. It was 110 off the bat. Kirby really taxed in that third inning. Blue Jays being ultra aggressive tonight, maybe even by their standards. 5-2 Toronto. Here comes the pitch to Clement.
Outside.
It's outside. Ball one. Clement, a good fastball hitter. One of a handful of guys who hit the heater well for Toronto. On a 1-0. Check swing, and it misses low. Slider downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes to the Blue Jays second baseman. Also a really good third baseman. He's been one of the more versatile infielders this year in the American League. Kirby behind. Stands square to home plate now, into the motion. The pitch. That's a fastball right over the plate at 96 miles an hour. 2 balls and a strike to the right-handed second baseman of the Blue Jays.
He's a Gold Glove finalist at third base. A lot of Blue Jays are Gold Glove finalists.
2-1. Check swing. Does he go? He does not. 3-1. And Mariners have just one finalist, Julio, in center field.
In fact, I don't think I've ever seen 2 finalists from the same team. The Blue Jays have that at first base.
The 3-1 is a strike. I'm guessing Ty France accumulated that with the Twins?
Yes, Ty France and Vlad, both finalists at first base.
Well, good for both of them. Here comes Kirby's 3-2. Strike 3 called at the knees, 96-mile-an-hour heat. Third strikeout for Kirby. Nice way to start the fourth in what he hopes to be a bounce-back inning. Here comes Andres Jimenez. The surprise 2-run homer earlier. The pitch from Kirby. And that's a strike. Anybody getting some Karate Kid vibes from Ben May behind home plate tonight?
Yes.
Hey, yeah. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Nothing and 2. We've heard it a few times already tonight. Kirby in the driver's seat right away. Jimenez, the 2-run home run to tie things up in the third. The Blue Jays eventually took the lead. They're in front by 3 in the fourth. Kirby kicks, now fires. Swinging a grounder, chopped foul over towards the Mariners' first base dugout. Still 0-2. You know, the wild thing about baseball, you just never know, and that goes in so many ways. And for Jimenez, he had so struggled this year on inside pitches, and yet he smoked a pitch on the inner third over the wall. The 0-2. Swinging, he fouls it back. That was center cut at 96. In the regular season, Jimenez was 4 for 46 on pitches considered on the inside part of the strike zone without a home run, and he found one on exactly that pitch type here today. The next offering. Swing and a miss. A feeble wave from Jimenez. Back-to-back punch-outs from George Kirby. Base is empty. That's a good thing for George Springer, if you couldn't tell. Pitch to Springer. Swinging. This is drilled to center field. Julio is looking, and this ball is gone. George Springer, one of the great home run hitters in postseason history, hits his second of this series and his third of the postseason. Blue Jays extend the lead at 6-2 Toronto in the fourth. Wow, that was a no-doubter. .431 feet to straightaway center, 113 practically off the bat. Now Springer, a great fastball hitter, and that's exactly what he took out of the ballpark. Here's Lucas, the pitch. Inside. 6 runs for the Blue Jays off of Kirby. The 1-0. Breaking ball over the plate. And there is the strike called. 1-1. The next offering, a wave and a miss. Spins him around a little bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Springer now tied with Bernie Williams for the 4th most home runs ever in playoff history. 2 outs, nobody on. Kirby's 1-2. Swinging, this is rattled fair. It's picked up by Kirby halfway up the line at first base. A short toss to Naylor at the bag, and Lucas is retired. Vlad left on deck, but damage dealt once again. George Springer, a solo blast to center. We move on to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Blue Jays 6 and the Mariners 2 on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your friend.
Ball lined into the gap in right center and in for a hit.
And that was a botch of what should have been a single.
It sure was.
Went right off the heel of Teoscar Hernandez's glove when he boxed it.
I mean, Torkelson threw a baby overhand. He couldn't catch it.
How about that? First ball to the rookie making his major league debut. He loses it in the sun.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
First inning. He has 5 strikeouts over 3 frames. Here is Josh Naylor to lead things off. Here comes Bieber's pitch. Swinging a big chop foul over by first base. 0-1 on Josh Naylor. Gino and then Canzone to follow. It's been a long journey back for Shane Bieber, like it is for any pitcher who undergoes Tommy John. His 0-1 offering. Up and in. And that straightens up Naylor a little bit. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was Bieber a couple of years ago pitching on opening day here at T-Mobile Park inside the visitor bullpen. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball and a couple of hops, flattens out for Clement at second base. Easy toss on the first 3 pitches, and Naylor is retired. He was the Guardians' opening day starter when the Guards opened up here at T-Mobile Park to begin the year. And the story goes that Bieber was pitching with tears in his eyes, warming up for opening night because he knew then that he was pitching with a torn ligament in his elbow. He made the start. He pitched very well, offering to Gino. And he takes off the plate for ball 1. And then had to undergo Tommy John and miss the rest of the year. One out, nobody aboard. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Mariners trailing 6-2. I can't imagine what that must have been like for him. Such an accomplished pitcher, a Cy Young Award winner, a guy who was at the top of the game. The next pitch. Gino swings and he sends it high and foul over into the lower bowl on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And credit to him for taking the ball that night, even though he knew what was going to happen and the pain that he must have been feeling.
I was surprised he even made that start, knowing what was ahead of him in the next few days.
I'm sure what was going through his mind is what a horrible position he would put his team in, and yet the 1-2 is low. And yet, it's not often we hear about a guy going through a full start from the very first pitch that he throws, knowing that that's going on. So many times you see somebody feel that in the middle of a game, and what happens? The trainer comes out, the manager comes out, they pull him from the game.
But he knew.
On a 2-2. Swinging a ground ball, gets on third base. Barger quickly, he whips the throw across, and there is out number 2, a pair of grounders here in the bottom of the 4th. What a gamer, Shane Bieber. Now the Blue Jays picking him up at the deadline for nights like this. He's pitching with the lead, 2 outs, nobody on for Dom Canzone. Canzone struck out on a curveball his first time up. Bieber fires. It's high and outside for ball 1. You think about the respect that Cal Raleigh earned his rookie year, playing through that torn ligament in his thumb and playing through the playoffs with it. The 1-0. Swinging it, shot foul over by the first base Camberwell. 1 ball and 1 strike. And there's a lot of ways to earn respect in this game, and certainly one of them is when your teammates know that you are posting day in and day out with something pretty serious, and that was the case for Cal. And Bieber did something somewhat similar. On a 1-1. Swinging, it's fouled at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dom. This is not where you want to be against Bieber. Lifetime for Shane Bieber, not just this year, but for his entire career, opposing hitters are batting 150 when he gets to 2 strikes. And the reason why, he can spin the slider or the curve and really expand when he gets in the driver's seat. Into the motion, his 1-2. And he does spin a breaking ball. No, I take it back. A changeup that was in the dirt. Canzone takes it for ball 2. A somewhat rare change from Bieber. 6-2 Toronto. 2 outs, bases clean. Bieber rocks, now deals. Swinging a grounder, foul over by first base. There's the curve. Only 7 starts in the regular season for Bieber, so you think about where he is right now. Not a whole lot of tune-up time in the big leagues. Coming back after Tommy John and rehabbing. Still kind of in that phase where you don't totally know what you're going to get with that elbow coming off Tommy John. But he's looked pretty sharp overall tonight. His 2-2. Swinging, it's lifted into left field. Floating foul. Lucas ranging, and he can't make the catch. He crashes into the wall, and the netting keeps him from falling over. Almost runs into a parabolic mic operator down there. Part of the Fox telecast.
And remember, he's beat up with that leg. Saw that ball off the knee, so he's not running as well as he normally would.
Well, thank goodness for that netting. That's normally there to protect fans from foul balls. That kept a fan from having Lucas go right in his lap. He's shaking out that knee a little bit as he gets back into his position in left field. Had to leave the game, first game of the series, because of it. Here comes the next 2-2. Swinging, it's pulled sharply foul over by first base. Canzone putting together a pesky at-bat here. Blue Jays have a 4-run lead with 2 outs and the bases empty in the bottom of the 4th inning. Just over 60 pitches for Bieber. His next pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's a pretty nasty changeup. He gets Canzone and he retires the side in order. Now Bieber's really into a nice groove, unfortunately for the Mariners. After 4, it's the Blue Jays 6 and the Mariners 2 on the Global.
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher. I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so that she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Anytime we can put on these uniforms, the same ones that those guys played before us in the Negro Leagues, it's an honor to put it on and to share this field with them.
It's a piece of history, so I mean, to be able to wear it present day is honestly an unreal feeling.
Once the lights are on and the anthem takes place and you're standing there on the line, it'll sink in as to what this moment really means, because I do think it's a meaningful day.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
The dominant innings in game one almost looked like that was backfiring on the Dodgers when they went to the bullpen. But the Dodgers up 2-0 as they get ready to host the Brewers tomorrow in game 3.
Dave Roberts was asked, why didn't you leave Snell in there for one more inning? Well, he left Yamamoto in there for all 9.
Yes, he did. Here comes the pitch to Vlad. Vlad swings, hits an absolute rocket to center field. Julio sizing it up, and this ball is beyond the wall and gone. That is the second tee shot to center, this time off the bat of Vlad Jr. And it has been a real laser show by the Blue Jays tonight. They are in front 7-2 in the 5th inning. That was a pitch down and away on a slider to Vlad, and he got plenty of it.
Julio was mighty close to bringing that one back, going high over the wall and straight away center field.
Here's Santander, run in, nobody out. Kirby's pitch is high for ball 1. Vargas is warming in the Mariners bullpen. So 3 runs tonight for the Blue Jays, all following Julio's first inning homer. Mariners had a 2-0 lead at one point. 1-0. Outside. 2-0. So 7 unanswered runs by Toronto. Kirby's next pitch. That's down and away on the corner. 2-1. If you look at the last 4 postseasons combined, teams that out-homered their opponent have gone 95-20. The pitch is wide. 3-1. This year, teams that out-homer their opponent are 19-4. Kirby behind in the count. The 3-1. It's high, not close. That's a walk to Santander. Vargas is warming. What will Dan do? 74 pitches for Kirby. Here comes Dan Wilson. Now, Kirby, who had been so impressive in his earliest postseason starts. Tonight, his 5th career postseason appearance, his 4th start, and it just did not work tonight for George Kirby. Knocked around against this ultra-aggressive Blue Jays team, and the Blue Jays are saying, yes, this is what we saw in New York, that they did not see the first 2 games in Toronto against the Mariners. They have knocked Kirby out of the 5th, and really made him pay the price. 8 runs, 7 hits, responsible for the man aboard. We'll step aside.
I'm going to go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
Here in the top of the 5th inning, 1 on, nobody out, a home run by Vladimir Guerrero, and the Blue Jays have bolted out to a 7-2 lead in this game. George Kirby goes 4+ innings tonight for the Mariners here in Game 3 of the series.
Yeah, this one did not go according to plan for Kirby. Responsible for the man aboard. Here is Kirk facing Vargas. Kirk walked and scored back in the 3rd. 7-2 Toronto, top of the 5th. The pitch.
Pull up.
Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. And you look at what the Blue Jays did against the Yankees. The 1-0. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Crawford dives. He can't get to it. It's under his glove, and it rolls into center field. Santander into second. Kirk has himself a base hit. He reaches for the second time. Ground ball knocked right up the middle. So first and second for the Blue Jays, nobody out. Now the Blue Jays just boat raced the Yankees in so many ways. They came into this league championship series having scored the most runs this postseason, and they, of course, were not a part of the wild card round. They had the highest slugging percentage with the lowest strikeout rate. Here is Dalton Varsho. The pitch. Varsho swings and misses on a fastball middle away at 98 for strike 1. If you look at what they did in terms of the extra base power against New York winning the divisional round, they slugged over 600. Just over 600, as Varsho calls time, 601 to be exact. It was the 3rd highest slugging percentage of any postseason series in playoff history. First and second, nobody out. The 0-1 is downstairs. Now, in some ways, to be perfectly fair about it, it's a little wonky to be looking at slugging percentage for 4 games. And yet, it does tell the story of how much they obliterated. The 1-1 is a strike. Yankees pitching. I mean, they just crushed them. Vlad Jr. was a single-man wrecking ball. And then the Mariners come to town in Toronto and really handcuff the Blue Jays until tonight. The 1-2. Swinging, he fouls it back. 99 at the very top of the zone. And Varsho able to get a piece to stay alive. You look at the first 2 games of this series in Toronto, and from the 3rd inning and later, the Blue Jays were combined 1-for-42. That's changed tonight. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball, playable short right field. This is turning out to be more of a pop-up as Polanco is there, the Mariners' second baseman, about 10 feet deep. And to right makes the catch. Varsho is out number 1. He pops to second and brings up Barger.
How about you run him up?
Yeah, all 4 of the Blue Jays' runs the first 2 games came in the first 2 innings. Mariners pitching locked them down after that. Different story tonight. 1 out, first and second. The pitch to Barger. Bounces in. Ball 1. (7-2) Blue Jays. 1 out, first and second for Toronto in the 5th inning. The 1-0. Swinging a fly ball, left field. Arozarena getting near the chalk, drifting. He's in fair ground still. He makes the catch, and the runners hold. Harmless fly ball out, number 2 to left field. That brings up Ernie Clement. The Blue Jays tonight are in their powder blue uniforms. For the longest time, dating back to roughly the last week of the regular season, the Blue Jays had been wearing maybe different uniform combinations, but they had always worn their panel hat. And that kind of famous, really good-looking Blue Jays hat with the white panel in the front and the royal blue on the sides and the royal blue bill. The pitch. Swinging this is slapped on a line into right field for a base hit. Santander being waved in. Here comes the throw from Robles. It is not close. It's cut. Here's the throw from Naylor over to third base, and the tag applied on Kirk from Gino. The run does count. A run added on. It's an 8-2 Blue Jays lead, but there is out number 3 to retire the side. So a couple of runs in the fifth. 8-2 Toronto to the last of the fifth inning on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to beat a judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
Is it straight protein?
Yeah.
Breaking ball lined into the gap in right center and in for a hit. And that was a botch of what should have been a single.
It sure was.
Went right off the heel of Teoscar Hernandez's glove when he boxed it.
I mean, Torkelson threw a BB overhand. He couldn't catch it.
How about that? First ball to the rookie making his major league debut. He loses it in the sun.
Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. And I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the one-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
I'm helping these kids be the best versions of themselves, and I'm also representing where I came from. And then the Zilla team, I was working with a creative guy that was with Nike. I work with my best friend who manages this team with me, and we kind of just put together what we think would look cool. We went Godzilla theme. You kind of get to help them grow up into a young man and help them just make the right steps forward, and that's really why I started it, to have impact.
Blue Jays, 8 runs on 10 hits, 2 runs on 3 hits for the Mariners. Robles, Crawford, and Randy to bat. If anybody reaches, Cal Raleigh will hit. Here comes the pitch. It's upstairs for ball 1. Bieber, meanwhile, has faced just 1 over the minimum the last 3 innings, and that was an infield base hit from Julio. The 1-0. Check swing.
Here you go.
Does he go? Yes, he does. Slider down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, Lucas is in right field. It's Santander who's out.
One who had a back issue.
1-1, swing and a miss. Boy, we really cracked that case, didn't we?
Yeah, we nailed it. I guess we didn't look to the other side of the outfield.
The 1-2, swing and it's popped up to second base, and it's caught there by Clement. 1 away. All right, so we were talking about the panel hats for the Blue Jays. Their closer, as the season was getting near the end, Jeff Hoffman and the Blue Jays were in kind of a run. He said just kind of in casual conversation with somebody, hey, we got to change things up. What can we do to mix it up a little bit? And somebody had the idea to rock the panel hat that night, and they won, so you know how it goes. Here's the pitch to JP. Swinging, he drills this foul over by left field for strike one. And so they wore the panel hats the rest of the regular season, and then in the divisional round, and then the first 2 games in Toronto. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive up the middle into center field for a base hit. Crawford is aboard. That's good to see. Mariners need some kind of spark. It's a 1-out single. 1 out, 1 on for the top of the order. 8-2 Toronto. Now the Blue Jays, I think, figured after those first 2 games against the Mariners at Rogers Center, they needed a new spark. So I'm guessing we might see the Powder Blues again tomorrow night if this thing holds. Mariners are down by 6. There's still a lot of time left, though. 1 out, 1 on. Here's Randy. The pitch is upstairs. Ball 1. JP lead at first base. The 1-0. Outside. Able to lay off a slider. 2-0. Cal on deck, then Julio. Just over 70 pitches now for Shane Bieber. He fires away. Lands a slider right over the plate. It's 2-1. I think one of the things that has made Bieber so special in his career is that he has been able to land that slider for a strike and then can throw it off the plate for a swinging strike. The 2-1. Does not chase. Trying to get him to chase that slider down and away, and it's 3-1. Now, when Bieber has his command, he is really tough. He's not an overpowering guy. Fastball about 93. He's had the command tonight, that's for sure. But he's behind here. 3-1 pitch to Randy. Swinging a grounder over to third. Barger has it belt high. Flips over to second one. A whip throw over to first base. Not in time. Randy beats it out. Avoids the double play and brings Cal Raleigh to the plate. So Crawford cut down 5-4. Fielder's choice for Arozarena. Blue Jays 8 and the Mariners 2. As we broadcast from the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. Bottom of the 5th inning. Cal 0 for 2. Having a terrific postseason, batting close to 360 this October. Third time facing Bieber. The right-hander's pitch.
Outside.
Misses away. Fastball at 92 for ball 1. Nobody warming up yet for the Blue Jays, but there is some stirring going on over there in the Blue Jays bullpen. The 1-0. Swinging, it's popped up. This is drifting foul. Kirk is out of room. He's by the Mariners dugout steps, and this bounces on top of the dugout and into the crowd. Kirk went as far as he could go. Trying to make some friends over there. Mariners down by 6 runs with 2 outs and a man on the last of the 5th inning. Cal with 12 career homers against the Blue Jays, including the postseason. 1 already this series. Bieber pauses. A long hold, now the pitch.
Outside.
That's a very close miss. A changeup that could have gone either way. 2-1. And now the bullpen is up. Fluharty is getting loose in the Blue Jays pen. The 2-1. Swinging a grounder. Foul over by first. Vlad looked like a receiver trying to get 2 feet down to make the catch there. As he kept his feet in bounds, but his glove unfortunately was out of bounds. Remember that one series a couple of years ago when Vlad had a hole in his glove and 2 balls went through his glove at first base. Looks like he's got it stitched up since then. 8-2 Toronto, 2 outs. Randy at first base. Almost 80 pitches for Bieber. The 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Bieber lets out a big yell of emotion. He strikes out Cal Raleigh. 92 upstairs, and Bieber has, done his job tonight. Just 2 runs allowed over 5 really strong innings. Mariners nothing doing offensively by and large against Shane Bieber tonight. We march on.
Build this for them and spend the last year of coming up with this concept and getting it off the ground and getting everybody here. It just feels really good to have everybody coming and experiencing the thing that we've been working so hard on. To be able to take the experiences of Comic-Con and add that to a card show just is really fulfilling, because as somebody who grew up going to card shows and still goes to the same card show in the same church basement in Trumbull, Connecticut every month, it's great. Card shows are amazing, but to be able to add all of this experience is what makes this great.
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell.
Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
Surprise, 2-run home run in the 3rd. That tied the score at the time. He'll bat here to lead things off. Vargas, his pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. So he's ahead, no balls, 1 strike. Vargas set, delivers. Swung on, hot shot left side. That's through past Suarez, bounding into left field, a base hit. So the Blue Jays right back to it. Double-figure hits in this game. That brings up top of the order. Here's Springer. Slugged a home run last time. Springer, a marvelous season this year. Had the 3rd best OPS in baseball.
Very predictable.
I mean, it's amazing. Last year, he had 220 with 19 homers. This year, 32 homers, 27 doubles. Hit over 300. Here's the pitch. At the knees, that's a strike. Toronto, of course, last year, they were dead last in the East with an offense that really sputtered. This year, they won the East. Had the best record in the American League, the 0-1. Swung on that, slugged right field. Robles racing over near the line. He's not going to get there. It drops for a base hit. Nearly brings up chalk. Jimenez around second base. He glides into 3rd. Blue Jays with a base hit. So runners at the corners now with nobody down here in the 6th. It's all going the Blue Jays' way tonight.
He looked cooked last year, completely washed, and you wondered if this was just going to be a complete albatross of a contract for the Blue Jays for the next couple of years, and then he responds this season with one of his best yet.
Caleb Ferguson is up in the bullpen. And with Lucas, the batter here, the lefty, we'll see if a change is made. And Dan Wilson's going to take the ball. So that's going to be it for Vargas. Mariners going back to the pen here. We're in the 6th. It's 8-2 Blue Jays. Back with more right after this.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5.
From about 1905 to 1925 or so, teams actually issued cardigans as part of their team uniform. In that era, knitwear was actually having a heyday in sports. Think of ski sweaters or Argyle sweater vests on the Gulf Green. And baseball decided to jump on the bandwagon and create cardigans.
.270 ERA, appeared in 25 games. Out of the Mariners bullpen, he's trying to slow down the bats of the Toronto Blue Jays.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by Sunset Auto Family in Stummer and Auburn. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that. So Lucas bats here, lefty and lefty. Runners on the corners, no outs. Ferguson, high hold. Here comes his pitch. Swung on, bounding ball right side. Naylor charging, scoops out of his only play is to tag Lucas. Jimenez slides safely at home scoring, and the Blue Jays add another run on the board. 9-2 Toronto.
Not much Josh could do on the play except get the out on the hitter. Lucas coming up that first base line as Jimenez was able to score easily. Ball wasn't hit that hard.
Easy call right here, as especially now with Miles Straw batting cleanup. They're going to walk Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with first base open. Vlad has had a monster night, a home run, a double, a single. He has scored twice. So Straw will bat here with runners at first and second. Straw came on defensively for Santander, is now out of the game. 9-2 Blue Jays, one out. Ferguson, his pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Blue Jays have no one warming, so you'd expect Bieber to come back out. This game very reminiscent, as Aaron mentioned, of the series win against the Yankees, where the Blue Jays just steamrolled New York. The 1-0 down low. Blue Jays won Game 1 10-1. Game 2, they put 13 runs on the board. They had 23 runs in the first two games. They lost Game 3, but came back to get Game 4 5-2. Here's the 2-0. That's a strike. Game 4 tomorrow, 5:33. Castillo against Max Scherzer. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on Sky, foul territory, first base side. That's going to crawl into the crowd, out of play. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Straw. Ferguson pitched against the Tigers a couple of times. Appeared in Game 1, also in Game 3. Struggled in Game 3, gave up 3 runs in the win. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled away. Mariners down by 7 in the 6th inning. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Gets a strikeout on Straw. And there's 2 away. You're with us inside the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. Kirk will bat here. Kirk's been busy. A walk, a single. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down low. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Mariners down 7. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Mariners had a 2-0 lead. Blue Jays 5 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 1 here in the sixth. They've scored in every inning, starting in the third. It's been the complete opposite of the first 2 games of this series, where they were very quiet after the first. The 1-1. Swung on, hit well, right field, twisting around Robles. He's at the warning track, he's at the wall, and that is gone. 3-run home run, Kirk. It is 12-2 Blue Jays. Fourth home run of the night for Toronto. Here's Varsho. The pitch to him is a strike. Top of the zone. 12 runs on the board for the Blue Jays. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, little looper, center field. That's a base hit. 14th hit for Toronto. Barger's going to bat. Clement, the only one who has not batted in this inning. Everybody batted in the third for the Blue Jays.
Now they are approaching some franchise history. The most runs they've ever scored in a postseason game is 15. They're 3 shy of that. Now the most hits they've ever recorded, 18. They're 4 shy of that mark.
So Barger batting, the pitch to him. 10.5 cut does not go.
And it's only the 6th inning.
Yeah. 4 in this inning. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. What a wild series this has been already. The 1-1. Strike. The Mariners taking the first 2 in Toronto. In a game where George Kirby took the mound, you would not have expected 12 on the board for the Blue Jays by the 6th inning. One ball, 2 strikes. Ferguson the high hold. Here comes his pitch. Swung on, bounding ball right to Naylor at first base. Goes to second for some reason with 2 outs, and they get the force out there as JP scooped it up. All he had to do was step on first. He was going for a double play. Well, they got the out, and that's all that matters. Blue Jays, 4 more runs here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the inning. It's 12-2 on the Global Credit Union Mariners.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
breaking ball lined into the gap in right center and in for a hit.
And that was a botch of what should have been a single.
It sure was.
Went right off the heel of Teoscar Hernandez's glove when he boxed it.
I mean, Torkelson threw a baby overhand. He couldn't catch it.
How about that? First ball to the rookie making his major league debut. He loses it in the sun.
Let's open this up. Take a look at what we find. Looks like we've got Lauren Shahadi.
Animation is great.
We got Robert Flores, one of the stars of MLB Central with Lauren Shahadi. Then we got Mark DeRosa. Look at that. He looks like Superman, does he not? Right?
He was when he was with the Cubs.
Harold Reynolds looking ripped in a tracksuit in Studio 42. There I am. The hair's all
I know this guy.
Look at that jawline.
Mariners led 2-0, 3 batters into this game. It has turned fast. Blue Jays 7 extra base hits tonight. 4 home runs. They have just pounded the baseball. So Bieber steps into the pitch. Here it is. He sends it downstairs. Oh, no, that's on the corner. A strike. So 0-1 on Julio. Bieber at 80 pitches. No one throwing the pen. Here's the pitch that swung on a miss. That was a changeup tailing in that he takes a cut at. No balls, 2 strikes. Bieber winds, delivers. That misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aaron, you're talking about the Blue Jays in postseason's hits and runs. Here comes the 1-2.
Sorry.
That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I noticed you brought up a box score from Blue Jays history.
I had to do like a quadruple take at this box score from a World Series game.
The 2-2. And that's inside. Nearly hits Julio.
All right, this is game 4 of the 93 World Series. Blue Jays at Phillies. The Blue Jays won 15-14 in the World Series.
The 3-2 swung out a miss. Down goes Julio. 8 strikeout for Bieber.
I mean, I say it like that because you think about all the great pitching that you see, obviously, and how hard runs are to come by. And maybe more impressive than anything, the Blue Jays scored 15 runs on 18 hits without hitting a home run.
Wow.
The great Ricky Henderson led off for the Blue Jays that night.
Here's Polanco. The pitch. Swung out and missed.
Also, that's with the pitcher batting. And they had 18 hits.
That's a pretty stacked Blue Jays lineup. Olerud was in that lineup. Paul Molitor. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, bounding ball left side. Jimenez on the backhand, fires to first. It is in time to get Polanco. Spectacular play to get the second out. Let's pause for station identification on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
This is Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Take every game with you on the go by downloading the Seattle Sports app.
710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. The home of the Mariners.
So 2 away. Naylor's going to bat here. 12-2. Blue Jays do have action going up to their pen now. Bieber gave up 2 in the first. He's been excellent since. Nods his head into the wind, delivers. Swung and smoked on a couple hops to first base, flat on the backhand. Smothers, little underhand toss, pretty high. Bieber has to leap in the air. He grabs it, stops on first to get the out. And the Mariners 1-2-3 in the 6th. Well, they move along to the 7th. It's all Blue Jays tonight. 12-2 on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Hey, M's fans.
Wow! Wow, 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 wow!
With these designs, I wanted to bring out the Old English letter font, but add a twist to it. This is one I've developed over the years and used on a lot of tattoos. You could tell a sign painter or a lettering person by their numbers. That reveals a lot about them. It's an honor to design for the Dodgers. It's almost gone beyond sports, even into fashion. People wear LA caps all over the world.
It's a five-man umpiring crew here today, and this young superstar is in the stands.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy tripped, or he might have caught that ball.
There's a fastball. There's a flying bat. It's a hard card. And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
Haggerty is on with an infield hit. A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
Makes you wonder what we're going to see tomorrow. So Clement batting here against Ferguson. Here comes his first pitch. Swung out and missed. Well, the Blue Jays, after dropping the first two games of the series, from their perspective, they're looking at these three games in Seattle essentially as a three-game series to win and try and get the series back to Toronto. The pitch. That's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, the Mariners on the other side. There he did go. So no balls, 2 strikes. The Mariners, of course, trying to win this three-game series at home to make sure this series is over and never sees Toronto again. Now the Blue Jays on their way to taking the first game of these three in Seattle. The 0-2. Down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Seventh inning. Blue Jays a 10-run lead. The 1-2. Swung out, popped up. That's out of play behind home plate.
Blue Jays in their 2 home games scored a grand total of 4 runs. They got 5 runs in the top of the 3rd. Baseball's a funny game, guys.
Yeah, they have 4 runs in the 6th.
Yeah.
And matched it 1 inning, surpassed it in another. The 1-2. Down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I mean, the biggest surprise is George Kirby has been excellent in the postseason. Great down the stretch. And the Blue Jays just battered him tonight. The 2-2. Swung on and ripped down the third base line. That's foul. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, chopped foul. Big part of that, too, Vlad is just in the middle of everything for the Blue Jays. He was 0 for 7 in the first 2 games of the series with the walk, and then you look down tonight, He has homered, he has doubled, he has singled, he's walked, he's scored 3 times. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, that's hit high to left field. Arozarena drifting back. He reaches up, makes the catch. 1 away. In a lot of ways, as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. goes, so do the Blue Jays, and it's been extreme in these 3 games. Here's Jimenez. Ferguson from the belt. Now raises the pitch. Swung on, slashed foul on the third base line. Here comes the 0-1. That's upstairs. Of course, we know Castillo's going to throw tomorrow. It will be interesting after that. Will we see Wu in this series at some point? Will he be out of the pen? Will he be a starter? Here's the pitch. Swung on, little parachute to left field. That's a base hit. Jimenez, his 3rd hit of the night, including a home run. But everything off the bat has fallen. It's been just the opposite of the first 2 games of this series. Here's Springer. Springer has homered, one of the 4 tonight for Toronto. He singled and scored last time. The pitch to him. That's fouled away.
Way too many comfortable at-bats for the Blue Jays in this ballgame. Nobody's been pushed off the plate.
Here's the 0-1. At the knees. 15 hits for Toronto tonight. Ferguson ready. He deals. Slashed foul. That's into the seats first base side. We'll do it again.
You were talking about that Yankees series. They had 15 hits in game 2. This is nothing new for the Blue Jays. They came to the ballpark today just hoping that they could get back to some form of what they did against New York, and they're doing the exact same thing as it turns out.
Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Gets away from Cal. Jimenez will take second base. Well, given what we've seen in the first 3 games of the Blue Jays, it's been all or nothing. What are we going to see in game 4? One ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Gets Springer on the strikeout. You know, all eyes tomorrow will be on Luis Castillo. You think about his last postseason appearance against the Blue Jays, that start in Toronto in 2022. He was just dominant. Lucas standing in the pitch, is swung on, ground ball right to second. Polanco scoops it up. He'll fire to first to get the out. That's it for Toronto in the 7th. No runs on the board. We go to the bottom of the inning. All Blue Jays 12-2 on the
tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker, and here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting. And now he's back to the left side. And a 2-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years.
Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Breaking ball lined into the gap in right center and in for a hit.
And that was a botch of what should have been a single.
It sure was.
Went right off the heel of Teoscar Hernandez's glove when he boxed it.
I mean, Torkelson threw a baby overhand. He couldn't catch it.
How about that? First ball to the rookie making his major league debut. He loses it in the sun.
What a funny start to the championship series on both sides. As we take a look at the Chevy Colorado scoreboard. Brewers hosting the first two games, losing the first two to the Dodgers. Here's the pitch to Gino. That's upstairs. Toronto, of course, hosting, losing their first two games to the Mariners. And now the Blue Jays in control of game 3 on the road. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Who's going to be the first home team to win a game in the championship series? The 1-1. Swung on. That's ripped into left field. A base hit for Gino. So Gino checks in with a knock. Dom Canzone will bat here. Aaron, I am reminded in this situation what John Smoltz wisely told us about the postseason and the key to the postseason. Even if you lose one game, the key is not to lose 2 in a row.
He made the math pretty simple.
He did. He said just one time you got to win 2 in a row and never lose 2 in a row. You win the series. The pitch is Dom. That's down low.
Well, the Mariners did the first part, which is pretty hard.
Yeah. They've won 2 in a row. Now they just have to avoid losing 2 in a row the rest of the way. The 1-0. That's outside. I thought that was sage advice.
Well, what does John know about the postseason? It is amazing looking at his postseason pitching log.
Here's the 2-0. Swung on, slapped back to the screen, foul. 2 balls, 1 strike.
In a 14-year major league career, 21-year major league career, he pitched 14 Octobers.
Wow.
He worked a full season extra of innings pitched.
Here's the 2-1. Swung on, that is fouled. Off the netting down the right field line. Out of play, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Braves had an incredible run where they won 14 consecutive division series.
Yeah, they were constantly in October. Right. Unfortunately, they only won 1 World Series, but he has 209 career postseason innings.
That's unbelievable. The 2-2. Swung on, hit right to second base. Clement under and tossed to short for 1. Jimenez to first. Double play. And 2 erased here in the 7th. I was looking at that today because of the start tomorrow by Max Scherzer. He's got 25 postseason starts. That's in the top 10 all time. He's just behind John Smoltz, who had 27 postseason starts.
And 41 appearances.
Yeah, of course. Bullpen guy for a while, too. Here's the pitch to Robles that swung on and missed.
I was watching the Major League Baseball Network. Mark DeRosa was on some of those Atlanta Braves teams. He said, we went to spring training knowing we're going to be in the postseason every year, and they pretty much were.
Here's the 0-1.
Hold up. Where did it go?
And that's wide. John Smoltz also involved in a series, the World Series against the Yankees, where Atlanta took the first 2 games in '96 against the Yankees in the Bronx. Here's the 1-1. That's down low. And then the Yankees went on to take the next 4, and the Braves lost the World Series in '96. John Smoltz pitched 8 innings in Game 5, gave up 1 run, outdueled by Andy Pettitte. The 2-1. Swung on, popped up on the infield. Jimenez under it. He's right there in the dirt to make the one-hand catch, and that's it. Pettitte, by the way, has the most postseason starts in Major League history. 44 postseason starts for Andy Pettitte.
All right, so here's the Mets home jersey. To me, growing up in New York, also a very iconic jersey. The blue pinstripes that represented the Dodgers. Got the orange outline, which represented the Giants, which are the 2 teams that left New York. And then subsequently, the Mets were created. You know, my parents were Mets fans growing up, and this was the jersey that I also dreamed of wearing.
Worth 2 runs in the 5th and 4 more runs in the 6th inning. Some changes for the Mariners. Luke Jackson will take over and work the top half of the 8th inning. And Leo Rivas will play second base for Jorge Polanco. So Rivas at second, and Jackson is on in relief. Leading things off is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who was a triple away from hitting for the cycle. Man, the Blue Jays turned on the offense after they were down after 2 innings, 2-0. Here's a swing and a line shot into the gap in right center field. This is going to get by Julio all the way to the 1-2 track to the wall. Guerrero to second base. He may try for the cycle. No, he checks in at second with a double. The long throw in by Julio is cut off by Rivas, but Vlad had to be thinking about it. He was a triple away from hitting for the cycle. He got the single in the 1st, the double in the 3rd, the home run in the 5th, intentionally walked, scored in the 6th. And now he has a double into the gap in right center, leading off the top half of the 8th inning. So Guerrero 4 for 4 with a single, 2 doubles, and a home run. His teammates were thinking, hey, maybe 12-2, you got a shot. Here's the pitch on the way to Miles Straw, and he takes a look at ball 1. But Guerrero saw the throw come in a hurry. Good hustle by Julio to chase it down out there in right center field. 16 hits for the Blue Jays. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul back by Straw. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Guerrero has smashed the ball all over the yard tonight.
Huge night for Vlad Jr. The stretch, and the 1-1 from Jackson is low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Gary, you and Aaron, we're talking about John Smoltz' incredible Hall of Fame career. But I think the greatest game that he pitched was in a loss in Game 7 of the World Series with Atlanta. Swinging a ground ball to short. Up with the ball, Crawford. He's got it, gathers it in. The throw to first, and it's in time to get Straw, who can run. And there's one away. Holding at second base is Guerrero. Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. Braves and the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota. Extra innings. Jack Morris went all the way. Smoltz went all the way. And some say the greatest game ever pitched on both sides. Here's Alejandro Kirk. The pitch on the way to Kirk, and it's low and outside for ball 1. And the Braves with Smoltz on the mound. The Twins with Jack Morris on the mound. Battled inning after inning. Gene Larkin ended up winning the ballgame with a pinch hit single. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's going to be inside for ball 1. Dan Gladden scored from third base with the only run of the game, and Minnesota won 1-0. But an incredible performance by both Jack Morris, who won, and John Smoltz, who lost. Here's the pitch on the way. A strike on Kirk, and the count is now 2-1. And that will go down as one of the greatest games ever pitched in World Series play. The look back by Jackson, and the right-handers 2-1 to Kirk. Breaking ball, low and outside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. And the Twins won the World Series. Jackson checking in with Guerrero. 1 out, 1 on. The pitch to Kirk. Swung on. Tapper at the plate. And the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. What an incredible career by John Smoltz. Broadcasting this game nationally in the American League Championship Series. Mariners with 2 wins in Toronto, winning 3-1 and 10-3. And the Blue Jays way out in front here in the 8th inning, 12-2. The stretch by Jackson, and the right-handers 3-2 on the way to Kirk. Swinging a hard ground ball to third. Up with the ball is Gino. Checks the runner at second. Guerrero throws the first in time to get Kirk for the second out of the inning. Well, time now for the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Penn Report. The Mariners have used Vargas, Ferguson, and now Luke Jackson behind George Kirby in this ball game. That's the Penn Report, brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and the best in the Northwest. Here's Dalton Varsho. Dad played in the big leagues. Here's the pitch on the way, and a swing and a foul, or it's in the dirt, and the ball gets away from Cal. Not a foul ball. And over to third base goes Guerrero. Pitch was in the dirt and bounced up in the air, and that's really tough for a catcher. You're looking around, you're thinking the ball, of course, is on the ground somewhere, left, right, or behind you, but it was up in the air. And the count is 0-1 on Varsho. Went after a pitch in the dirt. And now Guerrero gets third on a wild pitch on a swing and a miss by Varsho. The stretch and the pitch from Jackson. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and in. And the count is 0-2. Mariners at one point of the game had the early, and I mean early, 2-0 lead on Julio's 2-run home run in the first. Now the stretch and the Jackson 0-2 pitch. It is strike 3 called. He gets Varsho looking, and that is going to retire the side, and the Blue Jays held scoreless for one of the few times tonight. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and our Mechanics Bank score. It's the Blue Jays 12 and the Mariners 2.
It's championship season. Are you winning with your current...
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
And that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
Here we are, Arlington, Texas. This is the Graham Slam Burger. So 2 patties, brisket, caramelized onion, American cheese, ranch aioli, or ranch mayo, if you will.
Oh yeah, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
something that you definitely want to take a picture of and just put on the gram. I took a bite of it, but it still looks dope.
It's a burger that looks great, but also delicious.
Like build this for them and spend the last year of coming up with this concept and getting it off the ground and getting everybody here. Like, it just feels really good to have everybody coming and experiencing the thing that we've been working so hard on. To be able to like take the experiences of Comic-Con and add that to a card show just is really fulfilling, because as somebody who grew up going to card shows and still goes to the same card show in the same church basement in Trumbull, Connecticut every month, like, it's great. Card shows are amazing, but to be able to add all of this experience is what makes this great.
And 72. What a year for this ball club. Here's Crawford to lead things off. The stretch by Rodriguez. He delivers. Swing and a miss at a fastball in the count, 0-1. Still a lot of baseball left to go in this best-of-7 series. Mariners, those huge wins in Toronto. The look in by Rodriguez, and now the right-handers 0-1 on the way. JP swinging a pop-up, shallow left field, down the line, a long run for Jimenez, long run for Straw, and it's going to be Straw who makes the catch out in left field for the out. Had some hang time, and Miles was able to get there to make the grab. So one away for the Mariners, and that'll bring up Randy Arozarena, who led off the first inning with a walk, stole second. He was aboard when Julio hit that tracer off the out-of-town scoreboard in left field above the Mariners bullpen, giving the Mariners a quick 2-0 lead. All of a sudden, this game turned around on a dime. Here's the pitch to Randy, and it's a strike, 0-1. Mariners in the postseason, 5-2. They've won 3, lost 2 against Detroit, so they're 2-1 here at home and 3-1 on the road. The pitch, a strike on the inside corner. The count is 0-2 on Randy. Looking at this lineup. Heck of a lineup for the Mariners. A lot of guys with postseason play, including Randy. Gotten in a lot of time in the postseason with Tampa Bay. And 5 years with Tampa Bay. During the postseason, he had .336 with 11 home runs and 17 runs batted in. The pitch to him is low for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And in 2020, he was the American League Championship Series MVP for Tampa Bay against Houston. Now the stretch, and the 1-2 on the way to Randy, and it's way outside for ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And of course, Mitch Garver with some playing time in the World Series just a couple of years ago with the Texas Rangers, who beat the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's great to have guys in that clubhouse that have been there and done that. Here's the pitch, low and outside for ball 3. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a number of other guys as well with postseason experience. I was talking with Harry Ford prior to the ball game. Young catcher. One of the 3 catchers on this roster. Here's a swing and a drive deep to left field. Going and goodbye baseball into the Blue Jays bullpen. Randy Arozarena. 27 home runs during the regular season. There's his first home run of this postseason. And it's now the Blue Jays 12 and the Mariners 3. As he hits one out to Randy land. Anything in left field is Randy Land. So for the Mariners, their second home run of the night, giving the Mariners their 3 runs. Julio with a 2-run blast back in the first inning. This is a breaking ball left up in the strike zone, and Randy got it all. So 12-3 Toronto, and that'll bring up Cal Raleigh. Rodriguez ready, Burley right-hander, fires away, and it's a strike on the outside corner at the knees as home plate umpire Ben May. And the count is 0-1. Tomorrow night, game 4 of the best of 7 ALCS. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's low and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. What a matchup. Luis Castillo going for the Mariners. He's been outstanding this year. Max Scherzer, the future Hall of Famer, will get the start for the Blue Jays in game 4. What a job tonight by Shane Bieber coming off Tommy John surgery. Here's a swing and a drive deep to right field. Down the line, and this one is gone. Goodbye baseball. In and out of the bleachers in right field. An effort by Lucas to try to bring it back. Cal Raleigh with a home run. Back-to-back home runs for Randy Arozarena and Cal Raleigh. This ball club getting the fans back in the ball game. It's now the Blue Jays 12 and the Mariners 4. Cal Raleigh with his 3rd home run of the postseason. Down the right field line. He hit 60 during the regular season. Nathan Lucas going high in the air just beyond his reach. And got out of here to right field. 12-4 Blue Jays. Here's Julio. Let's see if Julio can go. And he takes a pitch inside for ball 1. 1 out, nobody on. Back-to-back home runs by Randy and Cal. Rodriguez from the stretch. And the right-hander's pitch to Julio. And it's going to be down low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. A lot of fans back on their feet. They're looking for any kind of excitement after the Blue Jays ran away and hid with 12 runs in the middle part of this game. Now the stretch by Rodriguez, and the right-hander is 2-0 on the way to Julio, and that's a strike on the outside corner at the knee. So says Ben May, the plate umpire. 2-1. Might have been a little bit outside. Hardy getting loose in the Toronto bullpen. Now the stretch. And the 2-1 to Julio. Swing and a fly ball deep center field. Varsho going back to the warning track. He's there and will make the catch right at the edge of the warning track. And that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Mariners have had some length. Balls hit by the last 3 hitters. Randy with a home run to left. Cal with a home run to right. And that deep fly to straightaway center field by Julio, who homered back in the first. Blue Jays lead at 12-4, 2 outs, and here's new second baseman Leo Rivas. Came into play second base for Polanco. The stretch and the pitch to Leo is a strike called. 0-1. Leo batting .250 for the postseason. He had a big RBI single in that marathon game here at home against Detroit. Swinging a foul back by Rivas in the count 0-2. He came in to pinch hit in the 7th inning and drove in a run with a base hit to tie the game at 2, and it stayed that way until Polanco won it with a walk-off base hit in the right field, scoring J.P. Crawford. Mariners won 3-2 in 15 innings to win the division series against Detroit. Leo pinwheels that bat around and around. Rodriguez ready. And the 0-2 pitch on the way to Rivas. Low and outside. It bounces in for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. May, the home plate umpire, gets a fresh supply of baseballs from the Mariner bat boy. Full house here at T-Mobile Park for game 3 of the series. Now the stretch and the 1-2 pitch to Leo. Low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leo trying to get on board any way he can. Josh Naylor is due up next. Rodriguez taking some time, waiting for Leo. Now Leo's ready, so is Rodriguez. The stretch and the 2-2 pitch. It is strike 3 called, and that will retire the side. Well, Randy and Cal gave the fans something to cheer about. Back-to-back home runs here in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the top half of the 9th inning. Our Mechanics Bank score. It's now the Blue Jays 12 and the Mariners 4.
Around here, it's all or nothing.
You know, in Boston, every now and then, you'll do those throwback days where you bring out the big baggy jerseys, and the baggier, the better. When I broke into the league, everybody was wearing really baggy pants, and then as the years go along, I started wearing these skinny, mini, tight pants that looked like they were painted on. So by the time I was with Boston, I really wanted to wear the baggier, the better. We just wanted to be flying around in the outfield there, having a good time.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, Chef.
Five-man umpiring crew here today, and this young superstar is in the stands.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy tripped, or he might have caught that ball.
There's a fastball. There's a flying bat. It's a high car. And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
Haggerty is on with an infield hit. A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, like, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it, but as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Aaron Goldsmith, Shannon Dreyer will be with you on the postgame show. Addison Barger to lead off the top half of the 9th inning. And got a little bit of a delay, and now it seems to be all right. Ben May, the home plate umpire, looking along the third base line. Jackson's pitch on the way to Barger. It is down low for ball 1. George Kirby started the ball game. Got off to a good start. Retired 6 of the first 7 batters that he faced, and then the Blue Jays offense erupted. Next offer on the way, a strike on Barger, and the count evens at 1 ball to 1 strike. Blue Jays with 5 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 4 runs in the 6th. The pitch. Swing and a well-hit ball deep to right field. That ain't coming back. Way out of here. And this off the facing or into the hit it here patio in straightaway right field. Barger with a long home run for Toronto, and the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4. This one is way back to right field. And this is the facing of that second level. Ends up way back in the lower deck. So for the Blue Jays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home runs in this game. They lead 13-4. Here's a ground ball left side. Charging is Gino on the run. Barehands it. Throws the first in time to get Clement. So Clement out on a nice play. 5-3. Turned in by Eugenio Suarez. But the Blue Jays get another run on another home run. 5 home runs on the night. 1 away, and that'll bring up Andres Jimenez. who hit the first of 5 home runs in the top of the 3rd inning. That tied the game at 2-2 after Clement led off the inning with a double. Here's a swing and a drive into the gap in left center field. Julio on the run. He's there and will make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 down after the home run by Barger. Manager John Schneider moving Barger down in the order. Barger was up in the cleanup spot in the opening 2 games of the series, but struggling. And now he's hitting to number 7. Here's George Springer with a swing and a line drive into right center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Another hit for the Blue Jays, their 18th hit of the game. And the 3rd for Springer, and he's on with 2 outs.
Now that ties the Blue Jays' single-game postseason record, 18 hits. They're 2 runs shy of matching the 15 runs they scored in Game 4 of the World Series back in '93, the most they've ever scored in a single game of the playoffs.
13 runs tonight on 18 base hits.
They matched their postseason home run record in a postseason game as well.
Nathan Lucas hit it, and he takes a strike, and the count is 0-1.
And this is why the Blue Jays felt so good coming into the series, is the offense, what they did against New York. 2nd time this October with 5 homers in a game.
And the next offer by Jackson. Swing, little tapper along the first base line. Jackson over quickly. He's got it. Gets on the line. Puts the tag on Lucas well in front of the bag at first base. And that will end the inning as the Blue Jays add another run. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last drive for the Mariners. And our Mechanics Bank score. It's now the Blue Jays 13 and the Mariners.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win. Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Beer, and more beer. Hey, it's like Jenga.
Broken bat for Freeland. Ball to second. Corner boots it. Everybody's safe. Whatever superstition you have, you're employing it right now.
Not sure why that was Barger's ball, and he misjudged it.
He literally has a shirt that says "Dump Here." He's got a 62 shirt. That's pretty awesome. That's just impressive preparation.
Five home runs for Toronto in this ball game as Addison Barger added home run number 5 in the top half of the 9th inning. New pitcher, left-hander Mason Fluharty, will take over and work the bottom of the 9th inning. And due up for the Mariners. Looks like it's going to be Harry Ford. The pinch hit for Josh Naylor. So Harry a chance to swing the bat here in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. I was talking with Harry prior to the ball game. One of 3 catchers, just one of the young babies on this team. Just a kid and so talented, super kid. And so what an experience is this for you? You know, being the postseason, you just got called up to the big leagues. Not a lot of playing time, but you're having a chance to watch everything that's going on, get in at bat here or there. So what a thrill for this kid, because I said, man, you're going to be here for a long time. There's so much talent in this organization. Here's the pitch on the way from Fluharty. Swinging a line shot into center field, and that's going to drop in, a base hit. Varsho had to play it on a hop. Harry Ford jumped on a fastball and ripped it into center field. Way to go, kid. So Harry Ford drills one into center field, leading off the bottom half of the 9th inning. Way to go, Harry. One on, and that'll bring up Gino Eugenio Suarez. So for Harry Ford, base hit number 1 in his career in the postseason. Gino is 1 for 3, a base hit to left field back in the 7th inning as a race down a double play ball. And that's great to see. A kid like that get a chance to swing the bat. Here's the set by Fluharty. And the pitch on the way to Gino. It's going to be up high for ball 1. Blue Jays, 13 runs, 18 base hits. Mariners, 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 make it 3 home runs. The pitch. Breaking ball for a strike, and the count is even on Gino. And 1-1. Just tuned in, Julio with a 2-run home run in the first inning, giving the Mariners a quick 2-0 lead. In between, a lot of damage by Toronto. And the Mariners back-to-back home runs by Randy Rosarena and Cal Raleigh in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul off the catcher Kirk. And the count is now 1-2 on Gino. Mariners farm system is really loaded. One of the best farm systems in baseball. They've already created some of the top talent in baseball, starting with Logan Gilbert being a first-round pick back in 2018. George Kirby, a first-round pick in 2019. Emerson Hancock, a first-round pick in 2020. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch to Suarez, swinging a foul out of play on the first base side. And the count is still the ball and 2 strikes. And in 2021, the Mariners get Bryce Miller in the 4th round and Brian Wu in the 6th round. Cole Young, a first-round pick, so a lot more talent along the way in the next few years. Next offer on the way, swinging a foul out of play down the right field side, and the count is 1-2. Cade Anderson, a first-round pick this year out of LSU, and many others. Cesaro Montez having an outstanding season in the minor leagues this year. Sloan, a young pitcher. The stretch, and again the 1-2 to Gino. It's up high, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You got to have a strong farm system, and the Mariners have that. Creating what's here right now, and more kids along the way coming to the big leagues. The stretch, and the lefties 2-2 to Gino, swinging a bounce foul inside the Blue Jays' third base dugout. The count is still even at 2-2. Hardy with a new baseball from Ben May, the plate umpire. Story tonight for the Blue Jays, number 1, of course, the offense, but also Shane Bieber. Veteran right-hander, 6 innings tonight. Gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, no walks, and he struck out 7. The 2-2 to Gino, and it's high and outside for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Tomorrow it's going to be Luis Castillo against Max Scherzer. We'll see on the radio at 4:30 for our pregame show. Game 4, the best of 7 ALCS. The 3-2 check swing. It's a foul as Gino just got enough of it, trying to hold up on the swing, which he did, but fouled it off of Kirk. The count is still 3-2, and right now this is a 9-pitch at bat for Gino. Harry Ford on at first base. The big plane off the back. Next offer on the way, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So the Mariners have 1 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that's going to bring up Mitch Garver. Garver to bat for Canzone, the right-handed bat. For Mitch Garver, a couple of nights ago in Toronto, a triple off the wall in straightaway center field. One on and 1 away. The stretch and the pitch to Garver. Breaking ball is outside for ball 1. (13-4) Blue Jays. Now the look in by Fluharty. Delivers. Low and inside in the dirt. The ball gets on by Kirk. Now he takes off to go chase after it, and down to second base goes Harry Ford on a wild pitch. So Ford on at second with one out. And the count is 2-0 on Garver. Mitch back up there. Now the look in by Fluharty. Delivers, swing and a pop-up. Foul ground, right field side shallow. Long run for Guerrero near the seats. He's got some room, leans back, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So the Mariners are down to their final out here in the bottom half of the ninth. Blue Jays way out in front by a score of 13-4. And the batter will be Victor Robles. One more out, and the Blue Jays will have their first win of the League Championship Series to make it 2-1. And the Mariners will try to make it 3-1 with Luis Castillo on the mound tomorrow night. Here's the stretch by Fluharty. Delivers, swing and a liner. Waking a one-hopper out to Guerrero at first. He's got it. Takes it to the bag for the out. And the Blue Jays win Game 3 of the ALCS in a big way, 13-4. The Mariners lead the Blue Jays by a score of 2-1 in the series. And they will take on the Blue Jays tomorrow night in Game 4 right here at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners had the quick 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning on the home run by Julio Rodriguez, and then the floodgates open. Toronto with 13 runs on 18 base hits. Mariners added 2 runs to the bottom of the 8th on the home runs by Randy Arozarena and Cal Raleigh. So the Blue Jays will win it tonight here in Seattle. Final score of 13-4, and we'll be back with a lot more from T-Mobile Park right after this time out.
Luxury has arrived. It's